Australia's kangaroos are among its most well-known marsupials. A small number of species can be found worldwide. Over the nation from the Philippines, kangaroo in the distant reaches of the northeastern gray, as it is rightly known, the only huge mammal capable of jumping a common kind of transportation 25 feet, or nearly 8 meters, in one bound while sprinting as fast as possible as high as 35 miles per hour, 56 kilometers per hour, specifically, the Macropus species. Translates as a Bigfoot with a few standing over. They stand 6 feet or 2 meters tall. The appropriate height kangaroos are sociable, foraging creatures. Together in what is referred to as a troop herd or mob as herbivores, they consume a wide range of vegetation and grasses. Like cows, kangaroos feed on grass, and goats that chew cud in the same manner. Abilities: recent food consumed can be before being reabsorbed and eaten once more. Complete digestion. When they forage, their tail serves as a form of fifth leg that aids in propulsion from the earth, one of their most notable characteristics. The female pouch, however, is the children here. Joeys spend until they are old enough to emerge between 4 and 13 months. With relation to the species, the small, hardly moving before hitting the pouch inch-long newborn must navigate. They're blind and use its forelimbs. However, it only naturally creeps through its mother's substantial fur. When the infant is inside the pouch, they start to soothe. When it finally emerges from the pouch, it can keep nursing from its mother for at least a year. Interesting how aggressive female kangaroos can permanently expecting there may be a joey growing inside the while an embryo is kept in a kind pouch of diepa, or suspended animation, awaiting the departure of its sister. Produced to accommodate females. Many milk varieties, one of which is fattier. One for infants and another for adults. Joeys, when the atmosphere is unfavorable, like droughts or scarcity of food, kangaroos will frequently completely stop reproducing. They'll start reproducing again once resources stabilize. Kangaroo mothers typically produce males are relegated to second place by women. A life no one is certain of how or why they operate. The fundamental connection inside a mob centers on groups of females. Males typically stray out and explore adolescence, as shown in the sisters upon itself, whether Jacks or Jills. These logos serve as Australia are plentiful and impressive. As opposed to the 4-chambered stomachs of cattle and sheep, kangaroos have a single-chambered stomach. This allows them to regurgitate the plant they have just eaten, chew it like cud, and then ingest it for complete digestion. However, this motion is distinct from ruminant behavior and is more rigorous. It also happens less frequently. Although kangaroos consume a range of foods, they are all exclusively herbivores. While other species, like the red kangaroo, eat a lot of bushes, the eastern gray kangaroo primarily grazes on a variety of grasslands. Smaller species of kangaroos ingest hypogeal fungus as well. Many species are crepuscular, which means they forage during the chilly evenings, nights, and mornings while sleeping in the shade during the scorching days. Although kangaroos consume a herbivorous diet similar to that of ruminants like cattle, they create very little digestive methane through exhalation and irritated burping. The fermentation waste is converted to acetate, which is then used to produce more energy rather than hydrogen. Because methane's per molecule greenhouse gas effect is 23 times greater than that of carbon dioxide, the possibility of transferring the germs causing this process from kangaroos to cattle is of interest to biologists. Kangaroo groups called mobs, courts, and soldiers typically consist of 10 or more kangaroos. Living in mobs might be advantageous for some of the group's weaker individuals. Geographical location affects the size and stability of mobs, with larger and more stable gatherings occurring in eastern Australia as opposed to desert regions further west. Similar to ungulates, larger aggregations have complex social structures and high levels of interaction. When a new member joins a group, nose contact and sniffing are some of the most common behaviors. Scent signals convey a variety of information to the kangaroo smelling. This behavior prevents violence while upholding social cohesion. If, when sniffing, one kangaroo is smaller than the other, it will lower its body to the ground and tremble, which can be interpreted as submission. Males and females frequently exchange greetings, with larger males taking the initiative when approaching females. Most non-aggressive behavior occurs between mothers and their children. Strengthening the bond between mother and child through grooming when the young is still sucking or after it has ceased, a mother grooms it. A joey will nuzzle its mother if it wants to enter the pouch. Kangaroos have consort pairings for sex. Estrus females walk freely and utilize loud signals to gain males' attention. A male will watch a girl closely and follow her every action. He performs the Fleeman reaction by sniffing her urine to determine whether she is an estrus. Then, taking care not to shock her, he slowly approaches her. The male will continue to kiss and scratch the female if she does not run away, which will result in copulation. The guy will go on to another female when copulation is accomplished. Consort couples are more likely to be observed by a rival male since consort coupling and copulation can take a lot of time. Searching for tending ties held by the largest man they can overthrow without fighting allows dominant males to avoid having to select through females to establish their reproductive condition. Larger males will bond with females around estrus, whereas smaller males will bond with females further away from estrus. Kangaroos of all species have been spotted fighting. Kangaroo fights can be short or prolonged and ritualized. In extremely competitive situations, as is when males battle for access to estrus females or at confined drinking locations, conflicts are usually brief. Both sexes will compete over drinking spots, but men are more likely to box or participate in lengthy ritualized fights. While larger males and consorts appear uninterested and smaller males fight more frequently near females in estrus, while males are grazing together, ritualized fights may suddenly break out. However, most fights start with two men scratching and grooming one another. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.